you some lighter stuff tonight, and at some point in the next maybe a month or so, I'm probably going to get a little bit more detail for people who are using Zoom a little bit more, who want more detailed information. But I want people to really generally just be a little more professional on Zoom, because it seems like that's where everything's going. Zoom, StreamYard, all these other different applications, so that we can do our business from our homes. So it seems like that's what's happening. So just guys, just make sure that you subscribe to the channel. If you're listening to a recording, then on the bottom right hand side you can click on and join via subscribe and get notifications. Hit that notification bell, and that will allow you to get notified when I drop a new video. I normally drop 2 videos a week on my YouTube channel. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, you can find me there. So whenever I'm doing anything, whether it's information on a book or a speaking engagement or training, if you go to any of those pages, it's always going to be there. I always post on my Instagram page, I post on my Twitter page, my LinkedIn page, on my Facebook page, on all of my Facebook pages I post, my CDLP page, my Becoming an Entrepreneur page, and my personal page. I put the links for whatever it is I have coming up, and I normally have banners there as well. So you can always get links and things like that if you can't find the email, or if you don't get the email, it goes to spam, anything like that. So just make sure you stay plugged in. I'm going to be doing some giveaways coming up here in the next few months. For those who may have missed it, you don't see it here coming up in the slide. I also put it in the chat box. So in the chat box, you'll see a file and a link. So you can do it either way. You can either go to the file and download the file, or you can go directly to the link and click the link and then download it from there, however you choose to. But it's going to be concerning the book. Of course, you guys know the release is going to be October 5th for the book. I am doing pre-orders for the book, which is Network Marketing as an Entrepreneur, which is really just a smaller version, ebook size version of the big book that's going to come out. That's going to have 11 interviews in it, and it's going to be more in depth in network marketing and doing it as a business owner. But of course, it's preparation for becoming an entrepreneur. And I have a contributing author as well, which is Miss Tiffany Sullivan, Esquire Tiffany Sullivan. So for those that know her, she is in Legal Shield, but she's also an insurance agent and a practicing business attorney. And she is doing the chapter in the book concerning structuring your business, understanding tax liability, and those things. So that is going to be her contribution to the book. So you be prepared to read that, because it is definitely going to give you some insight on how you should be structuring your company, whether you should have an S Corp or an LLC and all those other things that you have as choices when you're structuring a corporation. So it's $4.97 for the ebook. You can get it pre-order right now. It releases on October 5th, and you can get chapter 3 now. So everybody who's already pre-ordered the book, I emailed you guys out chapter 3. So if you did not see that email for chapter 3, please look in your inbox. It should be an email, and you click a link, and that link will disappear within 5 days. So you need to go ahead and download that chapter. If for some reason you didn't see it and you don't want to look for it, or whatever the case may be, if you click on the chat box now, you can pull it right there. So you don't have to find the email. If you go to chat right now, if you scroll, let me see. At the top of the chat, you'll see where it says revised rough draft. You can download it from right there, or you can click the link that says welcome everyone. If you didn't get the email for chapter 3 of the book, here it is. You can click that link and you can download it that way as well. But the chapter that I gave everybody to take a look at now before the book actually drops, which I said I was going to do about a week ago, is called Employeepreneur. And that chapter is concerning being an employee and an entrepreneur at the same time. How long you should wait before you leave your network, leave your job to run your network marketing company. Some statistics telling you why people are leaving their 9-to-5 and becoming entrepreneurs. There's also a story in there about a character that I created named Kim Antsy, and it's talking about her circumstance as she goes from being a full-time accountant for the state of Texas to being a full-time network marketer. That's in that chapter as well. So it's about 12 pages long, and it really just gives you an idea to let you know what's going to be in the book. So definitely let me know if you guys have it. And I'm looking for feedback and reviews. So if you guys can give me some feedback and some reviews, I got a place that I'm going to be putting those reviews once you read that chapter, So if you guys can read that chapter and give me a review, that would be fantastic. That'll allow me to be able to place that in some places as I continue to market the book. And for those who have done affiliate links, thank you guys too. So I sent out an email to everybody as well about affiliate links. So if anybody wants to get 20% of my book sales, I will create an affiliate link for you, and you can send that out to other people. And as they buy the book, it lets me know they bought it through your link, and then I'll give you 20% of that sale. So you can do that as well. So if you don't have information on that, just email me or text me, and I'll get the link out to you guys so you can take advantage of that. This is the story about Kim Anstey in the book, but again, it's in that chapter 3 that you guys have access to, so you can take a look at that and see what's going on. If you can't see it, Betty, check your email. If you can't see it on here, if not, contact me afterwards and I'll get you the link. Stephanie, you too. Y'all don't see it in the chat, so at the top of the chat, when you scroll up, guys, you should see something that says revised rough draft. Does anybody see that file?
I don't.
Yes, I saw it.
Now, I don't know why some people are seeing it. Who said they saw it?
Wilma.
Who said that?
Wilma.
Wilma. Okay, Wilma Haynes said she saw the link. So that at least means that I'm not crazy. It's in there because she saw it. You got to scroll up to the top. You should see something that says revised rough draft. It's a file. You can download it right there, or you can click on the link. And at the top of the chat, you'll see something that says welcome everyone. If you did not get the email for chapter 3 of the book, here it is, and you can just click that link there. If not, check your email. It should be there as well. I sent that out yesterday. I believe the day before yesterday, actually, I sent it out. Worst case scenario, if you can't find it, just contact me.
Yeah, I just posted it for you, sir.
You just posted it again. Look at that. Willie Tolbert just posted it again.
And it's up there. I just downloaded it.
Good stuff. Jim Hicks just downloaded too. Thank y'all guys for being a jury for me and letting people know I'm not crazy. I really appreciate y'all. So how to use Zoom like a professional. That's what we're gonna talk about today. And I'm gonna do a little bit of screen sharing on my site to show you guys how to pull a couple of things up in a process of doing that as well. But as business owners, guys, Zoom is really gonna be right now to the way to go. StreamYard, Zoom, whatever one you use. But this virus is not going anywhere anytime soon. I know we all watching the news and everybody has their opinion, but I'm just telling you guys, this is the 3rd epidemic in the last, 200-300 years, and they always last a little bit. So, right now people are going to be skeptical. So just know that don't stop your business from running. Just allow your business to continue to run, but just do it this way. Whether you're building in a network marketing space, whether you're building in the space of personal training, or whether you're building in space as a realtor. I know real estate agents are still going out and showing houses and things like that, but it's very easy when you're meeting with one person to put a mask on and meet with them and show them a house. And when you go to the closing, the title company and all those things, they provide masks, so that's fine. But as you're meeting new clients, and as you're discussing what that client is looking for before you go and start finding houses for that client and stuff like that, you can use Zoom that way. Personal trainers, you can use Zoom to work with your clients, to do exercise with your clients, to put together programs for your clients to take a look at. You can do all those things through Zoom, and certainly network marketers. I mean, it's like this is the way to do your business when it comes to Zoom. For those that are doing business solution things, where you're talking to companies and things like that, I've been doing enrollments. I've been doing decision maker appointments through Zoom. So you can set up and talk to people and do enrollments. Some companies are using Microsoft Teams. Some companies are using Zoom. But my enrollments have been through Microsoft Teams or Zoom. So I just connect my PowerPoint and I pull it up the same way I'm doing with you guys here with this PowerPoint, and I'm flipping through it and I'm going over my presentation for my benefits and talking about those things. And I've got my picture inside the benefits, and I've got my camera on, and I kind of do my enrollments that way. And then people just email me the applications when they're done. And guys, business can continue to go. You can continue to build your team, and work with them and do calls and coaching and training with all of those individuals right through Zoom as well. So I just don't want people to get frozen and stop working thinking that, okay, there's a vaccine coming. Okay, they're saying by October, they're saying by November. Guys, I hope this thing ends just as fast as you guys do, but don't put your business on hold until it does. Because we don't really know what's going to happen, and I don't think they do. I think they've got I think they've got good hope and they want this thing to end, and it's wishful thinking, and that's all great. But guess what? I can't pay my bills with wishful thinking. In order to pay my bills, I got to create income. In order to create income, I have to keep my business running. Yes, yes. So you have to learn that you're going to have to use these kind of apps to do things. But I want you guys to use them in a professional manner, where you're not only accessing them, but you're accessing them in a way where it'll benefit you in a professional manner. So we're going to talk a little bit about that here today. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing this real quick. All right, so what I want to do first is tell you guys that you want to definitely download the app. So I know you can go to Zoom through just going to zoom.us, and it's great to be able to go there and do Zoom that way, but you get more features when you're going directly through the app. You can adjust more things. So I want you guys to download, go to like zoom.us/download, and make sure you download the app. If you're using the Android or an iPhone or whatever the case, your tablets, make sure you download the app on your tablets, on your cell phone. Don't just go to Zoom, because guess what happens if the internet cuts off and you're on Zoom? If your internet goes out while you're on Zoom, you're going to be in a position where, you're going to be in a position where your Zoom may cut out. And I don't want that to happen to you. I don't want your Zoom to cut out on you. What I want to be able to happen is if the internet cuts out and you have the app going, what will happen is you'll be in a position where you'll still be able to kind of ride it out because you're on the app, as opposed to being online through zoom.com by just logging into Zoom via your internet browser. You guys follow me on that? So I want you guys to understand that. Make sure you have the app on your phone. That's the first thing. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to create a profile, and I want you to add a picture to your profile. So when you go online to Zoom and you log in, there's a place where you can create a profile. And I think it's best that you go in and do that. And I'm thinking I might be able to give you guys here an example of that. Let me see here. I might be able to pull that off. Let me see if I could do it here. Jump in the chat box, guys, and tell me what you guys see. What you guys see here? What do you guys see on the screen?
We don't see anything yet. It just
do.
scrolling, trying to.
Training done by Dunbar has started screen sharing. Double click to enter full screen.
Let me see. Let me see what I'm doing wrong here. What you see now?
There you go. Yes.
All right, we good
We
there?
see now.
Yes.
All right, good. All right, so let me see if I can. Let's see what happens. Okay, so you guys see that? Zoom?
Yes.
All right, good.
Yep, I see it.
All right, so here, where you got your different things, you got your profile, you got your meetings, you got your webinars, you got your recordings, things like that. You want to go to profile and you want to put a picture there. And the reason why you want to put a picture there is because when you're doing Zooms and you don't have a picture, all it shows is your name, which looks really unprofessional if you're doing benefits enrollments or you're working with a new associate or whatever, wherever you're at on Zoom. When you don't have your camera on, all it's showing is your name. So if I cut my camera off right now, what it's going to do is it's going to show Robert at Training by Dunbar. And that's all you're gonna see when I go to talk is Robert at Training by Dunbar, because it's not, I wouldn't if I don't have a photo there, right? So because I have a photo there, it will show a picture of myself. So just keep in mind to get you a nice professional picture, put that picture up there so that you can have that there. And then you want to go to different settings and set different things, and you want to get Zoom Pro. So for those who have Zoom and you're not paying for it, if you're using Zoom in your business, if you're just jumping on Zooms for team calls and you're getting on Zoom as a participant of somebody else's function, then I wouldn't pay for Zoom. Just go ahead and use the free version because you don't need to pay for it. But if you're holding events yourself, if you're holding employment benefit trainings, if you've got your clients getting on and you're doing functions for your clients, or you're doing wheel workshops or training them online or working with your real estate team or any of those different things, you certainly want to make sure you have at least Zoom Pro. And I pay $12.95 for Zoom Pro, guys. I'm paying less than $13 a month. So it's not like it's a big arm twist, or it's detrimental to my budget or anything like that. But it allows you to do some other things for that $12.95. So when I click on meetings, it lets me know my up and coming meetings. I can click on my previous meetings. It lets me know all my previous meetings that I've had. I can go to my personal rooms if I set up personal rooms, if I'm doing a meeting and I've got people in different rooms. And I also have meeting templates. So when I go to set up a meeting, I can pull up a meeting template that I've already used and set a meeting real quickly. So I can do that right through the meeting section. If I go down to recordings, it'll let me know what local recordings I have, and it'll let me know what cloud recordings I have. So you can literally record your Zoom meeting. So when I do a coaching session with one of my clients, I'll record that meeting and then I email them the recording. So now they've got that entire session we have. They want to review it themselves. So as a personal trainer, a person can do a session with a client and they can email that information to them. You can email different maybe calls that you're doing for your team. If you're doing a team call on Zoom, you do your team call on Zoom. When you're done, you can go ahead and email that to them afterwards, because you can just go to local recordings and you'll have it right there. You can open it, you can delete it, you can send it as a link. So you got all that information there that you can use when you're doing those meetings. When I click on settings, I got settings for meetings, for recordings, and for the telephone. And there's a lot of different things back here that you can do when it comes to meetings. I'm gonna stick with the basic stuff now again, so that I don't confuse people who are newer to Zoom. But I want you to take a look at a couple of different things. Require a passcode when scheduling new meetings. So that may be something that you want to do to prevent hackers from hacking into your Zoom, is create a password for your new meetings, and then you give people that password. If you're running your business and you're looking to collect information, it's important to require people to register for your meeting. Because when people register for your meeting, they have to give you their name and their email. Now that's in your database, and now you can go into your database after the meeting and look at the registrants. Then you can download them as a CSV file, guys, and then you can add it to your MailChimp or whatever your email list is that you have. So if you want your client base somewhere where you can email them certain things, whether it be your real estate client base, whether it be your personal training client base, or whether it be something that you're doing as a network marketer, it doesn't matter. You can create that list by having them register. And you want them to have a password so people won't be in there that shouldn't be in there. And once you get in that meeting, if you're doing a one-on-one meeting, you can lock that meeting out. So you can go to the bottom and you can click on more, and you can lock that meeting so nobody's on that meeting but you and the person that you have, or the persons if you've got more than one person over there to do that. So personal meeting ID, you can create that. I have a personal meeting ID, and I can use that for all my meetings. That way I don't have to change it. So I could say every week I'm gonna have a meeting on Monday, and I'm gonna use my PMI, which is my personal meeting ID. And now everybody that gets on that meeting, they already know that personal meeting ID. And all they got to do is go and click that same meeting ID every time, or just plug it in, and it'll pull them right into the meeting every time. So those are just some things that you want to know that you have as options back here in Zoom. You got an embedded passcode to invite link. Embedded passcode and invite link for one-click join. So I have that on, and I have that so that I can just send that link to people. So instead of them putting in a password, so let's say I have a password set up, I can still make an embedded link with all of that in there, and I can send you that link. And when you click that link, it'll bring you right into the Zoom. You don't even, it won't require you to put the password in, even though there's a password required, because I have it embedded in the link. So I can put that on in my settings, and then that link will populate when I create that Zoom. Where it says require password for participants to join by phone, that's what we just talked about requiring a password. I have some of these settings off. Authenticate users, only authenticated users can join the meeting. Only authenticated users can join the meeting from web clients. I have that off because obviously I don't want those things on. Host video, which is normally me. Start meetings with host video on. So when I go to chime into the meeting, my camera is automatically on. If I don't want that to happen, I can put it on off. So those are things that you can do. You can have the participants' videos automatically come on. I have it off because I don't want to, obviously I don't want to invade anybody's privacy. I want you to cut your own video on if you choose to, but I have that option back here during settings. I can have it set up where the telephone and the computer are both options. So you can either dial in through telephone and be on the Zoom, or you can use your audio from your computer. Those are all things that I can cut on, or I can have it either or, where I only allow telephone or I only allow computer audio. So I can do it whichever way I choose, and that's what knob I would hit. Join before host. This allows my audience to get on the Zoom before I even get there. So if I cut that off, you wouldn't be able to enter the Zoom until I was on there first. So these are all features that you can get to through settings. Enable my personal meeting ID. That's the meeting number that I told you that I had, that I created. I cut that on. I created my own meeting ID. So if I have a weekly meeting that I don't want people to register for, I can just say, hey, just use the regular meeting ID, give that to everybody, and they can chime in every week, and it won't be an issue. So muting participants upon entry. I have that on go. So that means that when people join the meeting, their phone, they automatically mute, and they have to unmute themselves in order to talk. That way it's not just noisy as people are coming on the meeting. So you have control of that in your back office. Upcoming meeting reminder. So receive desktop notifications for upcoming meetings, and reminder time can be configured in the Zoom Desk client. That way it lets you know that you've got a meeting coming up soon, so you can have that on again or off. So basic, these are basic meeting things here that I'm gonna show you. So chat, allow meeting participants to send a message visible to all participants through chat, which is how we communicate here. You also have private chat, where people can send messages to each other without sending it to everybody. I also have auto saving chats. So automatically save all in meeting chats so that hosts do not need to manually save the text or the chat. So after the meeting is done and I do my recordings, I also have a whole list of the entire chat that saves as well. So you could do that as well. That way you can keep track of basically the minutes in your meeting, right? So for those that are familiar with that, if you're having a meeting with some people, say it's a board or say it's just your team and you have a meeting, you can save that chat, and now you've got that entire conversation in the chat saved as well. So you can cut that on in order to do that. File transfer. Hosts and the participants can send files through the in-meeting chat, which is what I just did, where I put the chapter 3 in the files. I put that chapter 3 file in the chat where you guys can download it right from there. So I have that on for that reason. Sound notification when someone joins the leaves, I have that off, but you can cut that on, and whenever somebody joins that meeting or leaves that meeting, you'll hear a chime on your end. Feedback to Zoom, I have it on. Display end of meeting experience feedback survey, I have that on, and that allows me and my guests to survey whether or not they like the Zoom. And you have an option to have that on or off, and I have it on display for every meeting, right? So co-hosts, allow the co-host to add co-hosts. Allow the host to add co-hosts. Co-hosts have the same in-meeting controls. So when I'm on the call, if I clicked on Jim Hicks, or I clicked on Willie Tober, or I clicked on Clifford Fuller, I can click on your picture or your name, and then I can add you as a co-host, and you will be able to share your screen, and you will be able to control the different things on the Zoom as well as me. So you can bring somebody in your meeting as a co-host once they join. And that's what I do on Monday nights for the CDLP. So when that meeting starts, I'll bring all the trainers on as co-hosts so that they have the ability to do the same thing that I can as the host. I have polling on, so I can ask meeting control questions, and you guys can answer them if I choose to. Always show meeting control bar, I have that on. Show a Zoom window during the screen share. Those are all things that you have an option. You would have to play with those because that's personal preference on whether you want to have those showing in your meeting. Also have screen sharing on. Allow hosts and participants to share their screen or content during the meetings. Who can share? Host only. If I make a person a co-host, they can share as well. Participants can't share their screen. I would have to make you a co-host to do that. But you have the ability to put all participants, and anybody on your Zoom could show their screen during that meeting. So you have that ability to do so. You also have desktop screen share for users, which I have off, and then I have annotation, which is on. And annotation is up at the top. I can click on that annotation button, and I can do things like I can draw on the screen. I can make my cursor light up so that you guys can see certain things I'm pointing to. I can drop little tags on things on the screen so that you guys can see that as well. So you can have that on or off, and you can also have it so that the participants can use annotation as well. Whiteboard, something else that you can use. I can click on whiteboard, and I can use a backdrop and do things on the whiteboard so that you guys can see it, just like a chalkboard, or if I had a whiteboard at a physical meeting. Those are all things that are available. So remote control, nonverbal feedback, meeting reactions, those are all things that are up in the toolbar that you can use, and you can use those different tools through here if you want them there. If you don't want them there, you just cut them off and you won't have access to them. So let me go down to advanced. It's just a couple of things in advanced I want you guys to see, and that's going to be it on there. Let me see. Right here, virtual background. So this is so you guys can have a professional background. So you can go here and you can choose one of these backgrounds. If you're saying, hey, look, I don't like this background. If you guys know what Canva is, put yes in the chat box. So there's something called canva.com. I use Canva. I have the paid version, but the free version has a lot of things on it. So let's say, for instance, you didn't like any of these backgrounds. I'm going to go to Canva real quick. You guys can go to canva.com. And if you go to canva.com and create an account, if you already have one, then you already have one. If you don't have one, create an account. It's free. I can go here and I can put Zoom virtual background, and it'll pull up Earth Day Zoom backgrounds. I don't know what this is. IDL something Zoom virtual background. I'm not sure what that is. Funny Zoom virtual backgrounds. You can choose any of those. So if I just go Zoom virtual background, it'll pull up all kinds of backgrounds that I can use for my Zoom. And all I have to do is click on this background. And it's a moving waterfall background. So I choose that background. All I have to do is click download it to my computer. And then when I'm in here, I hit manage virtual background. I click that, and then I just upload it there. And now I've got my own background, my own backdrop that I can use on Zoom if I don't want people to see the background in my office. Does that make sense, everybody? So it's a good way for you to be able to go here and do that. So let me move this back over here. All right, so you have the ability to do that, and Canva's got some really great things on there. You got all kind of other backgrounds here, funny Zoom background, and you can do your own. So like if you were on a Zoom on Monday that we did for CDLP, you see that Lamar Reynolds and Randy Hooker have trucks in their background. Well, all they did was take one of these, and then they can take, I'll show you guys here. So this is my Zoom account. I can actually go to folders where I have commercial vehicles, and I can pull up commercial vehicles, and I could take these trucks, and boom, just like that. Now that's my backdrop. I can download this as a backdrop and then put that up behind me, and in my background you would see those trucks as I talk. So I can drop that behind me if I was doing a safety meeting with some truckers, and they would see those vehicles, and I could do that with any of these I wanted to, right? I could take this guy in his truck, drop it there just like that. So Canva.com allows you to do all these things at no cost, and you've got all kind of pictures and stuff that you can use to move things around here. Look at that. I can drop that there, download that, boom, that's my backdrop through Canva, right? So let's say that you got a computer and it's showing you breaking up. So sometimes you'll see people with a virtual background and they'll be going out. Like it'll be like kind of disappearing and blanking out. And that's because that's because their computer is telling them that they need to have a green screen when they're doing that, when they have a virtual background, because of the kind of computer that they have, the way their computer is set up. If that's the case, then you would do this, right? You would go to Amazon. Go to Amazon.com. And this is my Amazon account, and you would just go here and just go green screen, and you could do regular green screen, or you could do green screen with backdrop and stand, and you would just click on that, and it'll pull some up for you, right? And you can get them at different prices. So this green screen setup is $84. This green screen is $39.98. So you would set that green screen up, put it behind your office chair, and then when you put your virtual background up, it will keep it from breaking up. So if you ever go out on the Zoom and you see somebody's background breaking up, it's because they need one of these screens in the back and they don't have one. It depends on the kind of computer you have. If you've got a really good computer, it's probably not going to require you to have one. So my computer doesn't require me. I don't use virtual backgrounds, but I put one up before, and mine does really well. I have an Apple computer, and because I have an Apple, it will hold the virtual background really good without breaking up. But if you have a computer that doesn't, then just get you a green screen. And like I said, you can get them at different shapes and sizes and different costs. Just go to Amazon, and you can have them send one to you. This one is $23. So it's just a way for you to keep yourself professional and have a good backdrop when you're doing some different things. So guys, follow that? Good? All right. So also, shortcuts. So let's look at like different shortcuts. So when it comes to shortcuts, when you're on a Zoom like this, like we're on a Zoom right now, if you wanted to mute everybody on the Zoom that you were on, you would simply, I'm putting my notes up, you would simply hit Alt-M, like ALT on your computer, Alt-M, and that will mute everybody. So you can always go to your toolbar and you can mute everybody there. But if you don't want to go to your toolbar and you got to pull up your mouse and do all that kind of stuff, if you don't want to do all that stuff, you can really simply hit Alt-M and it'll mute everybody on the line. If you hit Alt-M again, it'll unmute everybody at the same time. So that's a shortcut you can use. You can also pull up all the shortcuts on Zoom as well too. So you can go to Zoom, go to your settings and pull up shortcuts and it'll pull it up there as well. Another if you're using Apple, like I'm an Apple user, I've got an Apple and I've got regular PC, Microsoft. So when I'm on my Apple, it's not going to be Alt-M. It's going to actually be Command-Control-M. So if you're a Mac person, it's going to be Command-Control-M to do that mute all. On your shortcut for screen sharing, so like when I do my screen share, when I share my PowerPoint or share my computer screen a minute ago and showed you guys the Amazon and the Canva, I can actually hit Alt-S and I can screen share automatically. Or if I'm on an Apple, I can hit Command-Control-S and I can do it that way on a Mac or an Apple product if you're going to be doing some screen sharing. And you can unshare the same way. And in the last shortcut I'm gonna give you, so that I don't want to bore you out of depth with shortcuts. Mute. If you want to mute yourself temporarily, just hold your space bar. And you can mute yourself or temporarily unmute yourself. So if you wanted to say something, so when I ask you a question, say, guys, can you hear me? If you want to unmute yourself, just hit your space bar and hold it, and then you can say, yes, we can hear you, and then you can let it go, and then you'll mute back. So that's a good way to be able to do that as well. So let's talk a little bit about making sure that your Zoom is not noisy, where there's noise in your background or noise in another participant's background. So let's say people are unmuted and they're talking, or the person who's speaking, you hear their dog in the background, anything like that. They've got something called Krisp. And there's an app called Krisp, and I want you guys, that's going to be K-I-S-P. And what I'm going to do here is go back here. You guys can see my screen again, right?
Yes.
So if you go to Krisp, Krisp, Krisp app, Zoom, right? How to set up Zoom with Krisp app. So whether you got an Apple or Android or whatever, it's going to change how that works, obviously. But the Krisp app, when you click it, oh, I'm sorry, hold on, let me back up. Trying to go where I set it up at. Let's see. All right, so this would be the website, KRISP.ai, Krisp. And this, again, this is free. And when you go here, if you click watch the video, guys, it'll tell you how to put it on the kind of device you have. So whether you have a Microsoft or an Apple or Android, whatever you have, it'll tell you how to use it. And it'll tell you how to implement it in your Zoom so that your Zoom has it connected. So for me, if you look at my screen now, look at the top of my screen where my cursor is at, all the way across the top, where it's got Chrome, File, Edit, View, History, Bookmarks. Right here, this is Krisp. Right next to my Zoom app, I've got the Krisp app. So if I click on that K, it pulls up the little dialog box. You see that green thing going up and down where it's showing me talking? Built-in microphone, if I click that, it's letting me know where I'm putting Krisp at. Built-in microphone or built-in input. It lets me know where I have it at.
Now, we don't see that, Mr. Dunbar.
Y'all don't see that dialog box down?
I don't.
No, I don't see it either.
I'm not sure why it's not showing you guys on my screen. I don't know. Maybe they think that's personal or something. I don't know. I'm not sure what's happening. But what happens is once you download the Krisp app, it'll be a little K across your toolbar. When you click it, it'll give you options on where you want to put Krisp. And it's the free version, so you get 120 minutes free a week. Every week they'll give you 120 minutes free. If you want more than that, then you'll pay for it. You shouldn't need more than 120 free minutes. You know what I mean? A week, because you don't need it for everything. You're only going to use Krisp when there's a circumstance where somebody's background is so noisy you can't hear them, or if you've got a noisy background, you connect Krisp at that point. You don't need to connect it if it's a clear. You're only using it at that time. So you don't just have it on just to have it on, if that makes sense to everybody. So I got down here, minutes remaining, 53 minutes remaining on my 119 minutes for the week. That's what it's telling me right now. So that's just something else, another app that you can use to noise cancel. So that's a good way to keep your meetings professional, as well as it comes to Zoom. All right, so I went to Canva, I went to Amazon, I went through the settings on there. You can also touch up your appearance and things like that as well. So just keep in mind, let me see, if I share my screen, share screen, go here. Let me see if I'm able to do something here. Okay, do you guys see settings up there right now? What do y'all see?
I don't see settings.
You see,
No.
what are you looking at?
Just see the Krisp homepage.
Just the Krisp homepage.
Oh,
yes.
that's it. Okay. Let me see.
If you maybe close out some of the other ones, Mr. Dunbar, maybe that might help.
I think it's because I've got so many different
Apps open.
yeah, like Windows is only letting me share that one screen at a time. That's what it seems like it is. So let me see if I change this. What do you see now?
No
Same.
change.
Still Chris.
Chris, but y'all don't see the settings on there?
No.
No.
Dialog box? Okay, so it's not showing you my dialog box. That's what the issue is. Yeah, it won't show you my dialog box. What I was trying to show you guys is if you go into settings on Zoom, there's a place when you click video where it allow you to touch up your appearance. And if you go to settings on Zoom and click on touch up your appearance, then whenever you don't have to do it once, just check the box in your settings under video, and it'll always like your appearance will look better on there. So if you click the box off, you can see it, click it back on, you'll see it real time. You'll see that it'll make your appearance better on there. And it's just to make sure that it's almost like a filter on Zoom, so to speak. So it's something that you can utilize as you're doing your doing your Zooms. Just something to make sure that you look more professional as you do your Zooms, especially if you're doing benefits and things like that, or you're working with associates that you haven't seen, things of that manner. So I wanted to make sure I didn't want to go too far in depth on Zoom, because I didn't want to confuse people. I know Zoom is still new to some people, so I wanted to just kind of touch on things like having a green screen if you need one, using a virtual background, understanding how to go to Canva and change a virtual background, going to Amazon to get the green screen if you need to. Just simple functions here right on Zoom so that you can be professional. So what I want to do now is I'm gonna open it up, see if anybody has any questions about Zoom. If you have any questions about anything else, obviously that we talked about, you can ask me those as well too. But if you got any questions about Zoom, go ahead and unmute and let me know.
Dunbar? It's Nancy.
Yes.
Hi.
Hey Nancy, how are you?
Good, good. Did you see the comment that I made in the chat that they offer free Zoom trainings from their employees several times a week? And if you go to the Zoom homepage, down at the bottom, you'll see support and live trainings. And they're an hour. They take their time. They show just what you did, how to go to the settings and all that stuff. And I tried to do the virtual background for me. And I do have a picture in the settings, but it's not showing because I have an older computer. So it depends on the age and the, I forget what they call it, but the inner workings of it. It's got to be
Operating
a newer one.
system.
Thank
Yeah.
you. It's late. Yeah. So on an older one, it's not taking, my picture does not show up in any of the Zooms that I go on.
Oh wow, and that's good to know. And so it's operating
Annoying
system.
is what it is, because I have a nice picture.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Let me see if I can hit a couple of these questions that I see here already. What did you click on to get to the background page? Karen, unmute yourself real quick so I can make sure I understand what you're talking about.
Mr. Dunbar, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, back at the very beginning when you started to show us how to get to the background, I missed what you clicked on to get to that section to show us those backgrounds that were first on that page.
Just go to settings on Zoom.
Okay.
If you click on settings, if you click on settings on Zoom and then go to video, when you scroll down, one of the options is going to be virtual background. Yep. So let me see, and I may be able to just pull it back up, do it real quick here. Hold on. Stay with me for a second. Okay, here. So I'm in settings, right? And hold on. I'm in settings and I'm in meeting basic, right? So once I got to my settings section here, in meeting basic. So you got meeting settings, you got recording settings, and you got telephone settings.
But how did you get to that page from the home screen of Zoom? How did you get back to that setting?
When you hit let me see, let me go backwards here for you.
Thank you.
Yep. Let me see.
I know I've done it. I just can't remember how I got there.
Okay, so if I'm in profile, this should be your home page. This is my home page. I'm not sure how your home page looks.
I'm talking about if you just put in zoom.us and you're on the
Okay, hold on. Let me put that in. Zoom.us here, right?
right.
Okay.
Oh, my account. Oh, that's what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Click on my account. It's
Oh.
gonna go here. Then on the
Then
right, on
I
the
get-
left-hand side, you click settings.
Okay.
And
All
then
right.
if you want settings for the meeting, you're gonna leave it there. If you want settings for recordings or telephone, you're gonna click there. So I'll leave it on meetings, and if I scroll down, eventually I'll come to the virtual backgrounds. Right here.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. And these are the 5 that they give you. But if you want to create your own, then that's when you're gonna go to canva.com and create your own, and then you upload it here. So you come back here after you download it through Canva, whatever kind of background you want, you download it. Then you come back here and you go to manage virtual background. And when you click that, it'll allow you to upload that background into here.
Okay, gotcha.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah. And now you can create whatever background you want. So that's how you would do that. And if you scroll down, I believe there's something else down here I meant to show you guys too. Under, oh, down here, I'm sorry. I forgot to tell y'all that, so I'm glad y'all brought that back up. Here, this is how you can go live. So remember I told you guys I'm live on YouTube at the same time?
Yeah.
So when you keep scrolling down after virtual, it got allow live streaming meetings. So I have it connected to Facebook, Workplace at Facebook, and I have it connected to YouTube. So when I create a Zoom, I can go to more, which you probably can't see me going to more right now because it's on my toolbar. When I go to more, it says go live, and I can choose where I want to go live at, and it'll open up the Zoom live there. But you have to click these boxes and allow it to go live first back here in your settings.
What's a workplace by Facebook?
I haven't used that yet. I think it's a business thing because I think like this Facebook is like my regular Facebook. Like it connects to my personal Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Workplace allows you to connect a page or a business page to it.
Okay.
That way you can choose which Facebook you're going on, personal or business.
Now, the other thing that I learned from those meetings that I was telling you about is that there's a bunch of features that we have with the free Zoom account that we got through Legal Shield, but some of those advanced settings, you have to have the pro account.
Yes. And that's why I'm telling people, like, if you're using Zoom, if you're just participating in Zooms, then I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't worry about paying the $12.95 because you don't need features to participate. But if you're holding Zooms for business, I would tell you guys to pay the $12.95. It's $13. It's worth it. It really is worth it.
Now, did you pay Zoom directly or did you do that through Legal Shield?
I use the code through Legal Shield. So like Legal Shield has a code that you can use, and then you click the code and it goes in, it gives you the little passcode. So when you go to checkout, you put that passcode in there and it takes it down from like 15 or $14.95 down to $12.95. So it'll give me like $3 a month savings. But it knocks it down to that $12.95. Go ahead, Willie, I can't hear you.
Yeah, I have the personal account as well.
You do too?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. So there's a code that I got through Legal Shield. And I think Legal Shield is doing it differently now. When I originally did it, it was one way. I think Legal Shield has a whole nother way that they're getting you on the pro now than they did when they had the code, because I did that. I did mine probably a little bit less than a year ago.
Oh, that long ago. Okay.
Yeah. I did mine that long ago. Can you do background on your phone, Melissa? Yes, you can. So if you download the app onto your phone and you log into your Zoom account, you can use your backgrounds on your cell phone as well.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me see if I make sure I'm getting the questions answered that are in here. The quality of sound from your side is great. Are you using the laptop computer speaker or an external? I actually have an external speaker, but I'm not using it. So right now, this is just my Apple computer speaker that I'm on right now. All right, anybody else with any more questions about anything?
I have a quick question.
Yes.
This is Sheila. So what's the difference in using Krisp opposed to muting everyone out with the Alt M or the Control Command M?
Okay, so if you mute everybody out, then you're not going to hear them at all. Like that's going to completely sound them out. You won't have to worry about that. But sometimes you're on a Zoom where people are unmuted because it's kind of an interactive Zoom. And if you're in an interactive Zoom and your people are muted, you have everybody muted. I mean, everybody unmuted. Excuse me. Then somebody may have their speaker on, and there's a baby crying in the background, or a dog, or maybe somebody's cooking, or whatever the case may be. Now, you have the option of clicking on participants, and whoever's talking, their mic is moving. The problem is if it's everybody's talking, you don't know who it is still, unless you know who it is. If you know who the people are, then you'll be able to figure it out. If you don't, then you can't. So Krisp will sound that out. Now, the other thing that Krisp is going to do for you is Krisp is helping on your side too. So it's making you as a speaker, it makes you clear as well.
Okay.
So if you've got any noise in your background, a fan or AC unit, or maybe you've got a dog in your background, or maybe something else is going on. So like when I started this Zoom, my son was doing his homework, and I could hear him doing his homework because he's doing his stuff online on his computer. And he kind of just shut his down, but I could have just used Krisp, and he could have done it, and you just wouldn't hurt him.
Gotcha.
So it's for your side and the other side.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Dunbar.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Hi, it's Linnell Burns, sir.
Hey, how are you?
I'm well, sir. How are you?
I'm doing excellent.
I'm driving right now. I'm just gonna...
Good.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm glad you know.
Hey, we can't hear you. You're breaking up a little bit.
I said I'm glad that the dog didn't get you. I'm sorry to hear about your leg, but I'm glad the dog didn't get you. And I'm driving, so please forgive any background noise. But does that Krisp app also work for your phone? I heard talking the last.
You went out on us. What I heard you say before you went out was, does the Krisp app work on your phone? Is that what you said?
That's right.
Now, do you mean generally speaking on your phone, or do you mean when you're on Zoom on your phone?
When you're on Zoom on your phone.
Yes, because what happens is, yes, it does, because when you connect it, you're connecting it to your Zoom account. So when you're connecting it to your Zoom account, it doesn't matter what device you're on at that point. Does that make sense?
Got it. Yes, it does. Thank you.
Yeah, so you can download that Krisp app to your cell phone, to your tablet, and to your computer. And when you download it to your device, then you just connect it to your Zoom the same way. Make sense?
Okay, so it basically follows you the same way that your account does with Zoom across any platform then.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yep, absolutely.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Uh-huh, you got it. Anybody else?
Mr. Dunbar, I have a question about the affiliate link. I wasn't able to click on that to get the link. Could you send it to my email?
Yeah, I'll email it to you. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Sure will. Anybody else?
Yeah, Mr. Dunbar, Jim Hicks.
Hey, Jim, how you?
I'm doing well. I'm reading a book that I think everybody should have in their library. See if I can put it up as a picture. No, it doesn't show. Don't worry about it. I'll put the name and author in there. It's by Jeff Blount. It's called Virtual Selling. He goes into very extensive in helping you understand that you should really look professional. He talks about various cameras and microphones, backgrounds, and everything else that you can put together that helps you really look very, very professional.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. If you could drop that book in the chat, that'll be good. And then when I label the YouTube video, I will put the book in the description of the video as well.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, absolutely. You got it, brother. You got it. Anybody else? Going once? Going twice?
Don't kill me before I get this typed in.
Oh, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm about to put this screen back up real quickly here. All right, so we pretty much covered downloading the app, creating a profile and adding a picture, investing into Zoom Pro, using a virtual background, touching up your appearance, and canceling background noise using the Krisp app, which is kind of really what I wanted to cover. Kind of on the I just didn't want to put too much out there because it can really be confusing when people are brand new to Zoom. So I wanted people to just kind of get the gist of how to be generally professional with it. Again, guys, anybody any inquiries about the book, just hit me online or wherever you need to, and I'll definitely help you guys get set up on the book, and make sure that you've got that free chapter, that chapter 3. Oh, somebody asked me in the chat too as well, did you miss chapter 1 and 2? No, you did not. I did not give that away free, just chapter 3. So I appreciate it. But the other chapters you're gonna get on October 5th when the whole book drops. So anybody who already bought, on October 5th, you will get an email with the download for the book. But in the meantime, that chapter 3 was just a preview chapter that I told everybody I was going to put out there before the book got released. So that's what that is there.
This
So
is Jim again.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I downloaded the first page. So now I just wait for October the 5th and I'll be able to get the whole entire book. I didn't know about a chapter 3.
Yeah. And I sent the email out with it. So if you don't have